welcome. Is it there? Are there books? Oh, can I go borrow some? Really? A whole library? So? Well, of course. And good. Oh. Yes, Rivet Cities in particular. It's the most successful survivor settlement around, but no one here really knows how it started. Of course, that's why it's important to know how a place like that succeeded. So I need you to go there and do some researching. Oh, now I can't wait for what you find out down there. And check around to make sure you're hearing the real deal. Unless it's a steaming pile of slag, I'd say yes. Keep up the great research, Super Assistant. Any luck finding out how Rivet City got started? Try asking. What do you need? Good hunting! If you've got the caps, I've got the skill. Take care. It's a big wasteland, but you know that better than me, right?
Men, women, and children.
Got my eye on you. Don't do anything stupid. It's called the Wasteland for a reason. But there are settlements too, spread all around. The human race is stubborn like that. To the south, you've got Rivet City. But don't bother going to DC. The place is a war zone. Take care now.
Of the earth, come forth to gather and behold the power of atoms. Let those who dwell here in his favored land attend now to the words of the prophet.
You've helped me so much. It's... You... Are you serious? I can just have... Really? Seriously?
Welcome.
You saved my life. Can you spare any... You mean... My... Thank you. Thank you so much. You saved my life. Bless you. You saved my life. Can you spare... You... I can... My...
Megaton. Friendliest town around.
Please, do you have any water? I'm so thirsty. I've been drinking this irradiated shit, and I can't do it. I just throw it up now. I need purified water, please. Oh, please, if you find some, please. Welcome to Rivet City. Please wait while the bridge extends.
Hold it right there. State your business in Rivet City. Research, huh? I can't help you there, but you're free to ask around inside. Just don't start any trouble. We're the safest, most secure city in the wasteland. Nothing can get in here without our say-so. I don't exactly have time to worry about the history around here, now do I? I've got to worry about what's happening on it now. Carry on, then.
Hey, I'm on duty. Make it quick. Bye.
If you see anything suspicious, be sure to tell... Maybe you don't know who you're talking to. I'm Commander Danvers, Assistant Chief of Security. Yeah, well, I don't have time for newbies like you. You got something on your mind? Spill it. Sorry, but I don't really know much about it. More worried about what's going wrong with the here and now, see? Duty calls.
Welcome to Potomac Attire. I am Bannon, proprietor and city council member. I carry discriminating attire for discriminating customers. Between you and me, keeping out the riffraff is good for business. It's a place to live, safe from raiders and super mutants. With Dr. Lee on our side, maybe we can even begin to rebuild the world. Dr. Lee, Chief Harkness, and I are all on the council. We meet every Monday morning. I can be very influential, if you know what I mean. Far more than Seagrave Holmes. A threat? No, of course not. Well, maybe. He wants to replace me on the council. He's a shady character. I just can't prove it. Now, if someone were to find something incriminating in his room, well, let's just say I would be very appreciative. Why, I practically set this whole place up. When I got here 12 years ago, it was just a handful of dead-enders squatting in a rusted-out rowboat. Now I'm on the council, and with my leadership, we're the strongest settlement in the wastes. Of course, a few of those dead-enders still stick around, but who'd want to leave? Well, yes, but it was hardly any place of importance until I arrived on the scene. That's all ancient history now. No one would ever care about it. If you insist on wasting your time on that, you could try that bartending old crone down below, Belle Bonnie. Come back soon.
Welcome to This is a quick fix. I mean, that's the name of our shop. Polly and mine, that is. My name is Cindy. Cindy Cantelli. No. I would never do that. Polly does. Sample it, I mean. He's my deadbeat husband. Well, I don't really know, to tell the truth. How does any city get started, really? But I've heard Bannon talk about how he was responsible for its success. So I'd ask him about it. He's hopeless. I have to keep him away from the shop, or he'll rob us blind. One of these days, he's going to end up dead. I'm sure you'll be back soon.
Hello.
Yeah? What do you want? Oh, really? My husband ran off and got himself killed and left me to raise his little brat. So don't you tell me how I should or shouldn't be.
Hey there. What do you want? I ain't scared, and I ain't your son. Any other stupid questions, asshole?
One of the new immigrants died of radiation poisoning last week.
Hey there. Hi, I'm Angela. My dad runs Gary's Galley. If you want anything to eat, talk to him. You mean like hitting on me? No. Most of them are polite. Even the ones like Diego that I'd want to flirt with seem to ignore me. Well, one of us is. Sometimes it seems like he doesn't even know I'm there. Especially if he is a priest with a thick skull. Well, I'm not giving up. I just know we're made for each other. It's noisy, dark, and smelly. But we're safe here. No super mutants or raiders. And maybe Dr. Lee will find a way to get clean water for us. I heard the place was settled by mercenaries who used to scavenge DC, but I don't really know. Bye.
Yeah, I heard she was drinking river water.
The ship's water isn't much better. If we don't get fresh water soon,
Don't mind
we'll all
me.
end up like...
Stay away from me! What do you want? Are you one of them? I suppose it doesn't matter if I tell you. I used to be a slave. I saw a slaver on this ship. His name is Sister. I'm afraid he's after me. No! Please don't tell Sister. I think he's a slaver. I don't want to be taken by him. Thank you. I'll go to Flak and Shrapnel's just before closing. I don't have anything to give you, but I think I can trust you with a secret. If you ever go up north, there is a secret slave hideout called Temple of the Union. You might find them useful.
Her. Let me introduce myself. I am Gary Staley, gourmet chef and gourmand. I'll be preparing your meal. My specialty is Meyerlurk cakes, although the iguana is very popular too. Then you are in for a treat. I know a lot of places opened up when they got the hydroponics bay working, but that's hardly the start of it all, is it? Actually, Vera Weatherly might know more. She's always here and talking with folks, so if anyone's picked up a story or two, it'd be her. Yeah, I know. Thank God he's a priest. At least I know nothing's going on between them. Father Clifford would kick him out of the priesthood if he ever found out. Yeah, he comes by every night around closing time and tries to get Cindy to let him close up. Thank God she's smarter than that. Thank you for coming to Gary's Galley.
Mom, do I have to eat this? One of the new immigrants died of radiation.
Well, I hope they do something. Remember that child that fell off the deck last year?
Yeah, that was bad. I'm sure they'll do something
Yes.
about it. Yes?
Yes.
If you want a gun, you've come to the right.
They call me Shrapnel. I run this place. Got the best damn armament you'll ever see.
Ain't seen many of those around lately. They're tough to come by. History? Fuck if I know. Hell, fuck if I care. Come back soon. We always got a lot of ammo in stock.
It
Tamper
was
with
so
that,
noisy
and we're going
last
to have a
night.
problem.
I could hardly sleep.
Maybe a quick fix has something that will help you sleep. Cindy's got all kinds of good chems.
I'll try that.
Don't mind me.
Have a seat anywhere. Someone will be with you in a minute. Hey.
Could I have some iguana bits and a Nuka-Cola, please? Don't mind me. The city council is debating putting railings on the flight deck.
Well, I hope they do something. Remember that child that fell off the deck last year?
Yeah, that was bad. I'm sure they'll do something about it.
Good to see you. I really hope you're not thinking of breaking into there.
Look, Dr. Zimmer,
Look, this is a restricted area. I'm tired of telling you people. It's you. My heavens, you look so much like him. You're James's daughter, aren't you? What are you doing here? You were too young to remember, and I suppose James never spoke of me. Typical. I'm Dr. Madison Lee. I worked with your parents many years ago. Now I run the science lab here in Rivet City. It was all I had left. When your mother died, your father decided to leave with you. He abandoned our work. We had no choice but to do the same. You mean you haven't? I assumed he sent you here. For that matter, aren't you supposed to be in a vault? James said he left you there. Your father is no longer here, and I'd appreciate it if you didn't use that tone with me. Your father insisted that we return to work on Project Purity. I tried telling him too much time has passed. There's no way it would work. Predictably, he refused to listen to me. He says he can prove it will work and headed off to the old lab. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to tell you. It's in the old Jefferson Memorial Building, northwest of here. Please, don't go after him. It was foolish of him to even think about going there alone. I suppose so. I worked with them for several years until your mother died, and your father decided it was time to leave. What else do you want to know? Yes, your mother was... well, she was a good woman. A very dedicated scientist. Your father loved her very much. It was a shame that she died. She had been excited to meet you. James? He was very driven, determined to change the world. Well, we all were back then, I suppose. He was focused on two things, really. Making Project Purity work, and your mother. When she died, I think he gave up. I know he wanted to keep you safe, but I think part of what he did was run away. But it seems that he never really was able to get over the idea. I'm frankly shocked that he waited all this time and wants to try again. Complications from childbirth. None of us were expecting it. We weren't as prepared as we could have been. You have to understand, we were struggling with scavenged, derelict equipment. We did everything we could. Yes, well, I'm sorry it wasn't enough. Okay. Look, I don't want to be harsh, but I have problems of my own. I don't have the resources to support James's foolish endeavors, or your chasing after him. I'm sorry. I suppose I can spare a few stim packs. It's not much, but it might make things easier for you. Project Purity, we called it. What do you want to know? It was simple, really. Fresh, clean water for everyone. Such a simple idea, and yet so impossible to realize. The plan was to build a facility that could purify all the water in the tidal basin at once. No radiation, no muck, just clear water. It just turned out to be more difficult than we anticipated. We had the basic principles down, we understood most of the science behind it, but the radiation in the area is so pervasive. Small-scale tests were fine, but anytime we tried to test the process on a larger scale, it was just too much. Maybe if we'd had more time, or better equipment. You happened. It wasn't just you. We had more problems than we could handle already, but your birth is what finally pushed it over the edge. Your father decided that you were more important than everything we'd been working for, and he left. He left all of us. Once he was gone, the Brotherhood decided we weren't worth their time anymore. Without their protection, we had to abandon the Purifier. Okay. I could tell you all about the science lab, but even though I was here near the start, I can't really help with the details of how it all worked out. It all seems like a lifetime ago. I'm afraid I've had a lot of things on my mind since those early days. Good luck finding your father.
We've been over this. I'm Janice Kaplinsky, Chief Botanist. What do you need? If it hasn't got to do with the science quarters, I'm probably not the one to ask. And Dr. Lee's so busy, you really shouldn't disturb her work. So long. Don't know about your runaway robot, and we don't care. This lab is dedicated to solving real problems.
Yes. But Dr. Lee...
Dr. Lee is trying to save... Hey there. Later.
You there! What are you, some kind of lab assistant? No, you look a bit more weathered. Are you by any chance for hire? To the point. I like that. Well, as it turns out, I've misplaced some very sensitive property. Ah, a woman of action. I knew I picked the right person for the job. Let me be clear. You won't be looking for a lost puppy or family heirloom. You'll be searching for an android. Do you know what an android is? No, I imagine you don't. You see, we've moved beyond those primitive buckets you call robots and have created artificial intelligence. Sentient machines. Artificial persons that think and feel what we program them to. Occasionally their programming miscalculates. They get confused and wander off. Like I said, I suspect he's had facial reconstruction and possibly even a mind wipe. Search the offices of doctors or techies for android information. If he's come into contact with these people, there may be records. Start with Dr. Preston. He lives on this leaky boat. See if he knows anything. He's a doctor, after all. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm busy trying to ignore my surroundings. Maybe he didn't exactly wander off. Maybe he fled. Escaped captivity, as it were, if he began to misinterpret his situation. It's possible my android sought to forget his previous life. Wipe away all memory, all guilt. Trick himself into believing he really is human. So no, he may not be just an ordinary robot, but he's certainly not human, no matter how badly he wishes it so. I made him. I want him. End of story. By God, you're as annoying as you are clever. Very well. I'll tell you what you want to know, if it helps you locate my property. The duty of this particular unit was the hunting and capturing of other escaped androids. Yes, others have escaped. It's one of the side effects of having such an advanced AI. Machines start to think for themselves, fool themselves into believing they have rights. And so, this particular android may have believed he'd done something wrong, immoral, and wanted to forget those deeds. Satisfied now? This particular android, designation A321, is different, special, the most advanced synthetic humanoid I've ever developed. The others, like my escort Armitage there, are all older models, easily replicated. Ah, but A321? It will take years to recreate him. So you see, this android must be located at all costs. The others are all acceptable losses, but A321, he is irreplaceable. Looks to me like a giant boat ran aground and a bunch of savages moved in. History lesson over. The Commonwealth itself is nothing but a war-ravaged quagmire of violence and despair. Inside the sealed environment of the Institute, however. But the Institute's affairs are none of your concern. Your undeveloped mind couldn't even begin to comprehend what we've accomplished. Of course you do.
Hey there. I'm on duty. Make it quick. Chief Harkness meets with Dr. Lee and Bannon to discuss security matters. It's a waste of a good Monday morning, if you ask me. They should just let Chief Harkness call the shots. Oh yeah, he's a mess. I'm glad I'm not in Cindy's shoes. She's some sort of genius. You know, one of those egghead scientist types. Her lab is in the stern end of the ship. I suppose. Dr. Preston is in the upper deck, 4 section. That's the top interior floor in the southwest end. Yeah, see you. Good to see you. Evening.
This area is off limits to civilians.
One of the new immigrants died of radiation poisoning last week.
Yeah, I heard she was drinking river water.
The ship's water isn't much better. If we don't get fresh water soon, we'll all end up like her. They're all eating dinner at Gary's. They'll still sell to you, though. Just ask him.
Evening. Ted Strayer. You can chill with me if you want, dude. You mean, like fix stuff? Nah. I just hang out, dude. I've got enough chems to last a while. Oh, yeah. Lady, I only just got here myself. Ain't nothing I could tell you. Later, dude.
Hey, who are you? Got any psycho? I could really use a fix, but I'm broke. Ha! I run the chem shop, but I'm broke and can't buy chems. That's what Cindy says too, but I got the itch. I need it bad. Huh? History? What history? No history here, girl. Yeah, me too.
Gunfire went on for over an hour.
That's why I'm glad.
Welcome. Quite an impressive collection, isn't it? Well, don't be shy. Have a look around. Abraham Washington's the name. Curator of this little slice of American history. Ah, a fellow scholar, I see. Each of the documents in this room tells a small but important story about the history of the United States of America. Unfortunately, the greatest prize of all is missing from the collection. In 1776, the Second Judgmental Congress got together and adopted a document drafted by none other than Thomas Jefferson himself. It was the day the United States of America earned its name and secured its place in history. This magnificent achievement took form in the Declaration of Independence. Indeed I do. Without the Declaration, the rest of these relics are almost meaningless. I must have it. Acquire the document for me, and you'll be awarded most handsomely. What do you think? You'd secure your place in history. The woman who rediscovered the Declaration of Independence. Imagine the fanfare. Sorry, my mind tends to wander. I will see to it that you receive a worthwhile trade. I have in my possession the only known schematic for the creation of something called the railway rifle. Bring me the Declaration, and it's yours. Excellent! You won't regret it, I promise you. Imagine, you are taking part in another chapter of American history. I envy you. You can find the Declaration of Independence in the ruins of the National Archives. In the D.C. ruins, you'll find the National Archives, or what's left of it anyway. The building should contain the document in a protective glass case. Be careful. The place is swarming with super mutants. Here, let me pinpoint its location for you. It's funny now that you ask. I can tell you all about the capital, but I really haven't got any idea about Rivet City itself. I can't see how important it is compared to the capital's history, but maybe Bannon might know something. He's in the governing council, after all. I hope next time I see you, the Declaration will be in hand. Do have a look around, but don't touch anything. Watch it, will you?
I'm looking for troublemaker. Have you seen any?
Want to do some buff out? Maybe a little psycho?
They call me sister. Don't ask. Are you making fun of my name? It's a damn good thing for you this place is crawling with security. Otherwise, I'd kick your ass. You're bothering me. You don't want to bother me. Do I look like someone who cares? So do I.
I'm Brock, the bouncer. I take care of the troublemakers. You aren't going to be a troublemaker, are you? Starting fights, breaking stuff, stealing? I think I'll keep a close eye on you.
It was so noisy
Well,
last...
You're a new one. I'm Belle Bonnie of the Muddy Rudder. Make it quick. You must be drunk. Are you gonna order or what? History? What, not enough shit around here already? You need to dig up more? Don't know if it ever had an official start. It's just been here forever. Stuck in the river and full of assholes. No, I can't fucking well share one. What sort of moron are you? But fine. If it'll get you out of my face, go down to Pinkerton's shed in the broken off bow of the ship. If he decides to give you a history lesson, it's no business of mine. Now get the hell out of my bar.
night. I could hardly sleep.
Maybe a quick fix has something that will help you sleep. Cindy's got all kinds of good chems.
I'll try that.
What do you have?
Beer. And don't let it get empty.
Can you spare enough for a drink? I could really use one.
Any trouble in this area?
How the hell did you get in here? I suppose you can't be all that bad if you made it this far without dying. This is the part where you tell me what the hell you are doing bothering an old man who obviously wants to be left alone. Get on with it already. What? I have better things to do than yak about those backstabbers up topside. Now get going. Ha! Sounds like you've been poking around, all right. I'm surprised any of those reprobates even remember me. Maybe they still laugh about how they edged me out of the council back then. But you can set the record straight. For that, you have to go all the way back to when remnants of the Naval Research Institute cleared the Mirelurks off this wreck, about 40 years ago. We were looking for new lab space, and this bucket of bolts just happened to have a well-preserved science bay on it. Everything else just grew up around that lab once we got it up and running. The science team was led by one H. Pinkerton. That lasted until about 18 years ago, when those ambitious backbiters like Lee and her little team showed up. She came in with her big Purity Project pipe dream, and my whole staff started working with her, those traitors. She even took my seat on the council. By then, I was glad to leave it behind. But hell if I'm leaving the city I made great. Of course I do. A good scientist always keeps track of their data. Here, they probably don't even remember, but I kept the records of that first council meeting. Take them, if it'll put them in their place. The secret kind. Well, if you must know, I'm an electrician and computer expert, and I'm a bit of a surgeon. Really, the most gifted scientist you'll find. I'm the guy that got Rivet City up and running in the first place. And after all that, Lee and her gang of flunkies pushed me out. Ha! Project Purity, indeed. What a bunch of morons. They can't even clean some water. I live here. It's where I do my work. And it's far away from Dr. Lee and all those other monkeys dressed up like scientists. You made it past my defenses, which proves you aren't a dummy. And you haven't killed me. So I suppose you aren't here to do that. I suppose you can hang around if you want. Just don't touch anything. Don't let your guard down. Good to see you. Yes, that's locked. And yes, I can see you eyeing it.
Please help me. Can you help me? I need water. Purified water, please. You mean... My... Thank you. Thank you so much. You've saved my life. Bless you. You've helped me so much. You mean... My... You saved my life. Can you... I can... Really? You've helped me so much. You mean...
Is there a problem? He's totally strung out. Bannon and Dr. Lee and I all meet on Monday mornings to talk about citywide issues. It's pretty informal. The council doesn't have much real power. She's one of the members of the council. Runs the science lab here. Don't bother her unless it's important. Her lab is in the stern end of the ship. Carry on, then.
Good to see you.